What is going on YouTube? Hit it back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, as well as Cardano, and if we have time, the S&P 500. As you guys know, we are going to be wrapping up Cardano this week. We have a few days left, and then we will be doing a different cryptocurrency for next week. So definitely make sure to leave a comment down below as to what altcoin you would like to see here reviewed for all of next week's videos. It could be your favorite or the one that you see the most potential in. Definitely make sure to comment it down below, as I will be choosing one of those to review. And as we've seen the past couple of weeks, we've seen Tron do extremely well, and we're looking at Cardano for what could be another major run. Now, what we're going to be talking about in today's episode is going to be very interesting. Mainly, we're going to talk about the consolidation and where this could be headed in the very near future, as we're starting to see now XRP finally start to consolidate. We're currently at like 95 cents. We're also seeing Ethereum as well as Bitcoin kind of just flatline out and kind of head lower. And then Cardano is doing what it was doing the past couple of weeks, and that's pretty much just flatlining sideways. So some very interesting moves all across the board. They all have very crazy potential for some bigger movements to come, and I do want to talk about those more in depth. But otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, as this does help support the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can DM me over there. But otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, before we jump into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to Nimbus again for sponsoring today's episode. Nimbus is a DOA governed ecosystem of dApps that generates 15 reward streams for users based on classic IPO participation, startup financing, P2P lending, and much more. Users can leverage these opportunities via NBU, the Nimbus utility token, and GNBU, their governance token. With 50,000 active users, Nimbus is a fast-growing alternative, offering high yields in a space that seems to be growing faster than ever. So, Nimbus started off in 2019 and pioneered in decentralized applications since the end of 2020. Its NBU token launch was a blast, with an impressive 35 million market cap reached within 2 days of its release. Now, 2021 seems like a positive year for Nimbus, with its governance token for the Nimbus DAO GNBU now trading on Uniswap, which is absolutely amazing. Moreover, the recent announcement of Nimbus listing in a major North American stock exchange got the community even more excited. The company also has announced the upcoming launch of two dApps, a P2P exchange with a lending borrowing dApp to happen in May of 2021. And also, another cool feature about Nimbus is the high API for staking. While not all dApps are running yet, such staking percentages can become very attractive to users. So staking with DI, instead of simply holding your cryptocurrency in a wallet and waiting for its market value to just grow naturally, you can finally put it into work for a reward. In other words, you can pretty much just stake it. So while Nimbus is introducing many other unique and very rewarding ways to leverage your crypto, staking is still the basic functionality they've started with. And now we're going to further enhance it and become one of the top 5 DeFi projects with the most attractive staking conditions. The 24th of March and up to the 24th of May of 2021, you can receive at least twice as many rewards from the hard and soft NBU staking. The current soft staking reward is set at 5%, which will be increased to 10%. That's, twice as much. The NBU hard staking reward of 7 to 12% will enhance to 30 to 40%, which is more than 3 times its increase. So definitely check out the link below with more information about their staking program, as well as the Nimbus website if you want to check that out. The NBU token is also a great investment, as it has increased tremendously since its launch. Check out the amount of growth their coin has done since its launch. It's pretty incredible to see how much it's done and grown in value. Otherwise, huge shout out to Nimbus for sponsoring today's video, and let's jump into the technical analysis. Alright guys, so yesterday's video we talked about XRP Ripple. Don't be tricked, and then pretty much saying for XRP holders not to fall for this, how the bull run is still a big possibility. Mainly, throughout the past day or two, we've been talking about some very interesting movements for XRP, and I'm going to talk about why I made that video yesterday. Now, looking at the current coin market cap, you can see for the most part, everything is consolidating again. Market overall is down quite a bit, or wow, that's actually surprising, but it's up 0.86%, what I would consider consolidating consolidation. Top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything is down. 1 through 10 is all down, everything in the 24 hours. And then moving forward, I guess it's kind of like the alts are doing fairly well. Some of them are starting to do pretty well. Pancake Swap, a coin that I'm actually going to be talking about in a little bit, or that gets brought up in conversation in a future episode. But pretty much it's interesting to see how all the other altcoins are starting to actually do fairly well, and then the top 10 cryptos really aren't. But mainly what I wanted to talk about was the fact that yesterday's episode, we talked about the fact that XRP Ripple holders don't fall for this big movement. We had a clear, beautiful, major, I'll just draw this out for you guys. Right here, you can see the big wick that formed, or the big, candle that formed all the way to the upside. And a lot of people, not only in my groups on Discord, Twitter, and Instagram, were DMing me talking about they're ready to short the coin. And this is still a possibility. It is still a big opportunity, but it was definitely a much higher risk scenario. And what I mean by that is in the markets right now, yes, it could look good for XRP to short right now because we're starting to see the coin dip lower. But the thing is, I like to let consolidation kind of take over so we can kind of develop a better pattern, find where supports are and resistances. It doesn't make sense to immediately short the coin because you don't know how low it's going to go. A lot of people could have shorted the XRP yesterday. It could have, made out well, depending on where you had bought in, but it's not necessarily something I'm ready to risk, especially because I wanted to find a bottom. So if you guys actually managed to short XRP yesterday, good job. Much luck to doing something like that. But normally what I like to do is just wait for the consolidation to happen. Ultimately, especially because we capitalized on this run so well, we made such a big profit off this jump to the upside that it really didn't make sense for me to risk it all and buy back in to short where we currently were at $1.09 because I didn't know how low we were going to go. And if you happen to buy in at another level, maybe we wicked back down and corrected up and you would have gotten stopped out. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of buying into this and shorting it when there's too much at play right now, especially because it's only XRP that's really seeing this big move. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But for right now, XRP is starting to consolidate lower, which is a good thing. The main thing that to check out is the relative strength indicator, how we're not overbought anymore. We were trading prior at 87 on the relative strength indicator on the daily. We've now managed to consolidate all the way down to 69, which is actually pretty good. We're much lower than where we were prior, and this should allow for some more wiggle room. Now, I don't believe that we are in a position just yet to continue to pump higher. It is possible, but I would suggest a little more consolidation. I did have a feeling that we were going to be moving down to this support right here at 91 cents. I just drew this at 87 because of prior resistances in the past. You can see right here clearly what I'm referring to. So this is where I drew my resistance. You can have or support as well. Problem here, we had support here, support as well. And then ultimately you can see where the price is currently. There's not many, tiers here that show resistance or support. It's quite a difficult move. I mean, I could draw this here and just kind of show you guys. There's not really much that overlaps or hits this as a resistance or support level on XRP. It's kind of just making its own, as we really haven't been to levels these high in a very long time. So ultimately, my next move for XRP is definitely just to let this consolidate. I made a fairly big profit yesterday, and 2 days ago, that I don't necessarily, 2 or 3 days ago, that I don't necessarily need to be buying in right now to consolidate or to capitalize off a run. And it's going to be quite difficult to actually figure out the direction that XRP wants to continue to head. Because we're still, teeter-tottering on overbought, it's very possible we could consolidate lower, hit 86 cents. It's also very possible we could continue to pump, as we did back in 2017. So there's many different variables happening right now, but to just focus on one coin isn't necessarily the smartest path to take, and that's why I've now switched up looking at other ones. So for right now, my advice is definitely take a step back on XRP. Let's just see how this consolidates. We made a very big profit the past couple of days trading this and swinging it to the upside and leverage trading it, so I'm not really going to be focusing on XRP just until I see another pattern form. Now, the ones that do have a pattern that form that weren't affected by the major XRP run was Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Cardano. These, I'm starting to notice, have the biggest potential for what could be the next pump in cryptocurrency, and these are the ones that I want to focus on because I do believe that there's some money to be made in these. Now, Ethereum was retesting its resistance right here. We actually, I'm still shocked that I talk about this every day that we broke above resistance and actually created an all-time high. That was very interesting right there. But ultimately, we are starting to correct lower. We are hitting a bottom support here. Really, what I'm waiting for is for us to reverse downwards here. If you guys are ready to short this coin and you want to short it, I would pretty much suggest looking at this bottom support right here. We're currently retesting it and kind of just trading out sideways. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe another day or two of this consolidation. But honestly, when we see a break below this support level right here, which is set at 1947, let's say we close like this, there's a bigger chance that we're probably going to short all the way down to support and then see a bump to the upside. This is really the pattern that I'm waiting to fulfill. It looks like that would make sense as we are creating these higher low formations and we just hit resistance at the top. So, returning back down to our support level would actually help us and benefit us to move up to a new higher level or to a new all-time high. So my main focus on this is seeing if we're going to breach $1,950. There's a big chance in the coin correcting back down to bottom support here, and that's really I want to make some money off the short right here, and then I'll make money on the run to the upside. The same thing can be applied to Bitcoin as well. As you can see clearly, Bitcoin has had a very long higher low formation. We've had major beautiful runs to the upside, and notice every single time we hit up, we hit resistance, we correct lower, but every time we hit bottom support, we end up pumping higher, and I'll draw this out for you guys. So notice right here, first support level, we shoot up, we come back down. Second support level, we shoot up, we come back down. Third support, shoot up, come back down. Fourth support, come back up, shoot back down. Fifth support, same thing is going to happen. That's kind of what I'm expecting. So see how we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 support levels right now. I don't think we're completely fulfilled on the one we're currently making right now. I do believe we're going to be heading a little bit lower because we haven't necessarily retested that support level yet. But I do believe we're probably going to come back down, retest about 55,000, and then once we hit bottom support here on the uptrend, that's when I plan on buying in. There's not much money to be made in this short, unlike Ethereum, but there is money to be made in the run to the upside because I do believe in the next, probably I would say by April 16th, so we have by mid-April, I do believe we are going to be retesting all-time highs once again. I don't think we're going to be going bearish, even though we have some consolidation here. The MACD kind of flipped bearish for right now. I do believe that short-term, by mid-April, we're probably going to see this price flip bullish and swing back up to retest all-time highs and hopefully conquer that and move up even higher. Now, lastly, to wrap up today's video, I do want to show you Cardano. This is a coin that we've been looking at for quite some time now here on the channel, ever since Monday actually, and you can see the major consolidation that's been happening within this coin. Very similar to what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. This one's just a little more filled out. You'll notice that we do have a very nice symmetrical triangle, and finally we have a top resistance or a descending price ceiling right here, where resistance is multiple hitting the where resistance is pretty much coming to a standstill, and the price has had a very tough time breaking through here. Notice the consolidation back into the gap right here. Once we fill in this gap, I do believe we are going to see a pump, and you can see the higher lows are starting to form as well, and ultimately things are just flatlining out right now, and I do believe that things are kind of just waiting right now for a big run. So who knows? I do believe at the end of Cardano we may see a big dump to the downside. Vice versa, we could see a big run to the upside, but it really is just a matter of this patience and consolidation and just waiting on the coin. So I do want to extend these out just a little bit so we can get a better understanding again. We could draw this out. I mean, I could do it like this. It still is a big possibility. I'm probably going to do that. You can see kind of what we're rocking with right now. All right, here you go. So this ends mid-April. And you can see kind of that resistance that we're hitting. You can see the top resistance up here. I did at one point have it lower. It wasn't necessarily one that worked kind of well, but you can see kind of that resistance that kind of cuts through the middle of the symmetrical triangle. But I do believe that Cardano does have the potential to pop. It's just mainly letting this coin trade out and consolidate. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's episode. The S&P 500 looks good. We'll see how today opens, but we've just been pumping and running for the longest time now, this whole week pretty much. But definitely, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.